So the question is, how did I know that I wanted to marry her?
Yeah.
Um, that is a great question, and I never knew that it was gonna be her. I never up on like I know it sounds really weird, but it's not something I feel like a relationship. I love her the most out of anything. I think I love her even more than myself. Is the thing. I tell everybody that. I love her more than I love myself. And but you don't ever know that a a person, I mean everybody has a different perspective on how they know. Some people just know, and some people, some people's like, "Oh, okay." A lot of people settle, women or men. They go, "Okay, I guess." Like because you can't have it all. Like I was trying to make a joke, like this comedy bit, out of like you can't have a guy that's 6 foot tall, handsome, have good hygienes, very smart, very funny, very witty, and have a lot of money, and also extremely educated, have a beautiful family, and also have a big dick. There's no way. That guy has the smallest penis that you've ever seen in your life. You can't be athletic and all of those things. It's impossible. There's no perfect, it's just like everybody, the Disney thing. There's no perfect person. So you have to know what your values are and be like, oh, this is the best at it gets, or you settle and go, okay, I'll sacrifice a certain personality trait for this thing. In this case, Carrie, you know what? I A lot of guys, they want to give it up for the woman, and I really feel that way with Carrie. I feel like she settled. Um, but I like sometimes I say that, but I don't know. I feel like we're honestly, this is really cheesy to say. I feel like we're perfect for each other. And I don't think we. I know like people joke around like, oh, she definitely settled and give it up for her. It's like, yeah, there's beauty in that too. There's definitely, but if she thinks that, I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. I don't think I settled for her at all. I really, truly, 100% genuinely think that we are perfect for each other. Not every day I'm like thinking like, oh, is she the one? Is she not the one? It's like, I just know that I love her and I want to be with her every day. And every day and every year, every other year, she evolves and we both evolve. And love I love the person that she evolved into. And I love how the person that I evolved into, and I love how I still love her, not the same way, but even more because I knew the person that she was, and through that, I love the person that she is now. And I love how she became the person that she is. So there's three phases. I love how she evolved, I love who she was, and I love who she is now. So there's three things that I love about her. Like three phases of this human being. And so even the day before marriage, and also me personally, not everybody's like that. Like I said, some people are just more certain. Some people don't think much. Some people just really, more grateful because maybe, some really beautiful, smart woman saw something in you, a piece of shit guy. No, there's no such a thing because I'm sure if a beautiful woman or man they see something in their partners, you know, so that's why a lot of the times I feel like in events or social events, people always like to bring their spouse because I feel like their spouse um, really reflects also a huge part of who the person is, because you look at the other person is like, oh, well, this person is amazing. Why would they be with this guy? Is such an asshole, But you see the person, then you're like, oh, he's really just a nice guy on the inside because look at this beautiful person. Do you know what I'm saying? I really don't. So to finish answering your first question is, how do I know? I still don't know. But it's not like I don't know if I'm explaining this clearly, but it's not that I have doubts like, oh, I do have doubts like, oh, what if there's another person that I could connect with, or but nothing beats building. Like for example, if you build a house with a brick, one brick at a time, and over the years, and now you have this house. It's like, yeah, you could always start to build a new house with a better material and a fancier material, or build a house somewhere else. You could build a house with anal beads or whatever the thing that you want to build it with. But the house you build is still, you look at it and you still go like, and a lot of people want to say, oh, it's a comfort thing. Like, oh, a lot of people are comfortable. That's what they don't leave. But it's like, yeah, if at one point, if I think or she thinks that, oh, I'm just staying with this person because we're comfortable, then definitely I want her. I love her so much that if she doesn't want to be with me, I want her to leave and be as happy as she could be. And that would hurt me a lot, but I still want her to be. I would try to not have her do that, but I want her to be as happy as she could be. Do you know what I mean? I feel like she's the same way with me. She's doing her best, and every day she uh, makes effort to stay together. So I don't think there's a sure, like, she's it. When you're younger, like when I was younger, yeah, for sure. Like love at first sight, always. It's like, oh my God, this is the person. But I feel like at the end of the day, you go, people have flaws and people have likes and dislikes and wants and needs differently. When you're younger, you don't really think about, oh, like how are we going to build our life and financial responsibility and, wants and needs. And as you evolve, but I feel like, yeah, as an adult, it's a every day or every month thing, and sometimes people change in different ways. That's why divorce rates are over half, because people change and people have, and that's okay. It's really hard, but nothing is easy, but that's okay. But we've been really lucky that we like each other's company. So my view of marriage is completely different than her view of marriage. And I totally understand she's a woman. To me, it's like if we never got married, I would have been fine. I would have been okay. I would still be the exact person that I am with her. Um, but I wanted to do that for her. I wanted to do that for her because I know I would, because it made her really happy. And I try to talk about this with other people too, because so over half of the people who get married divorce. So that's literally 50% of the time. Like there's a 50% chance. So that's literally maybe, maybe not. That's 50-50 is the meaning of maybe, maybe not. But there's more people who's getting divorced than staying together in America, right? And just real quick, Asian people get divorced less, Asian culture get divorced less, but that doesn't mean those are good marriages. They just do it to save face. They just do it so that they can show other people that everything is fine, even though if it's not, right? Um, so there's a point where I did it. It's mostly for her. Um, I wanted to, I want to know that, I think I wanted to know, because at the time, it was a while ago. At the time, I think I wanted to know that she also wants to be with me for a long time, like in this grandiose way as well. But I was never like, oh, we need to get married. Like, but not because, oh, I want to go, maybe go fuck around or like find another woman. I was like, oh, I really love this person. I want to be with her no matter what. So when I decided, is the tradition as well with my family, with her family. I don't know if it makes sense. It's nothing to disrespect. It's just that my thinking of a marriage, the whole institution of it, because a lot of people now, they literally just go to court and then they get married and they go, okay, so it's better for taxes to file so we could pay a little less taxes that way. But really, to me, is not a thing. Like, because it is a tradition that I respect. Like, it's, if you like it, that's why I did it. I'm not against it. If you want it and that makes you happy to to show, the family. That makes me happy too, because it makes me happy that my family and her family could come together. I love that. The celebration, the ceremony. Not, you know what, not necessarily the ceremony, but I like the celebration of people. So that part is fine. But it's just the whole pressure of like, oh, like this is forever, ball and chain. Is like, ball and chain, maybe. What if it was too heavy? I might just like take off the cuffs and run. Or she might do that. Nobody knows until the problems are, it, until the couple is presented the problem. Then you will find out if it's really ball and chain. Then you would find out if it's to death do us part. Like any people could. That's why it's over 50% is a divorce. Yeah, but so far, 100% I would do anything for her. Whatever it is that she wants to do, I'll do it. And a lot of the time, most of the time, almost all the time, that she's so understanding that she doesn't go like, "Oh, yeah, I know that you do it, so do this thing for me." She's almost like, "Yeah, I know you would do anything for me, so I would do anything for you too." So she doesn't. We have that mutual understanding and love that. So it's like, yeah, it's effort. It's effortless in that way. Of course, there's issues. We still bicker, of course, and but I think for the most part, we love and respect each other, and we have very good communication. I feel like for any couple is a lot of people fight because they hold things in, or they don't communicate, or they're too tired. Like, I understand you're working 50, 60 hours a week, and you come home and now you got to fight. It's like, no, I just rather hold it in and then not have to deal with it and just be like, oh, it's fine. Even sex. I was talking about this with my therapist too. Like, sex is another thing. Like, not everybody's libido, most people's libido is not the same. So one person will want it more than the other. And there's the same go with any aspect in the relationship. Like, I might be more, in my case, I'm less patient than she is. So we have to adjust. Like, she made me such a way more patient person, even though I might not be as patient as the average person. I think I am now, compared, relatively speaking, of just, I think I'm pretty average, um, patient, but I was way more impatient until I met her. I love that she's so patient, and I see how she deals with things, and that changed me. And I think for the same with her, that things that she might be a little more slow pace, and I'm a little more fast paced. She's a little more, and organization too. She's a little more fast paced now, and organization is another thing. Like, I have OCD, which is the extreme end, and she is actually perfect in, objectively speaking, where she's not super messy, but she leaves things out sometimes, which is totally okay. But that bothers me, and so we kind of, you know try to meet halfway. But um, yeah, so but that's mostly me though. Like, I know that I have an OCD problem, so that's on me. So a lot of times I have to remind myself that it's okay if things are not in place. Like, for example, if she puts like a water right on the dining table, I need a plant in the center. I'm like, it needs to be half an inch to the right there. It can't be right here because it's not on the line of the tablecloth. If it's right there, perfect. Right here, too messy. I'm kidding. That's too extreme. I'm not like that, but you know what I mean. Like, you leave things around and stuff like that. So go back to, yeah, how do you know as a person? So it's like a complex question. Is like, I don't feel like, because people are ever evolving. So I think it's a continuous work and journey to get to be the person. So for people out there who are in a relationship, that you're lucky enough to want to work together in, not in a cheesy where you were like, oh, better each other, but if you find somebody who are willing to even make any effort into tolerate each other, I think it's the best thing that you're willing to fight. Fighting is the best thing. If you're not fighting, then that's weird. If you're just blowing up and fighting, that's the worst thing. But if you're just arguing, bickering here and there, and asking each other what is how to best um, best satisfy other person and how we could meet in the middle. If one person is not, there's give and take. If one person is just not giving, like, as in, like, if you ask them, hey, can you not throw your clothes around all the time, and they go, no, I have to throw my clothes around every day, then that's crazy. That's it. But then if you're like, can you throw around your clothes less, like half of what you used to, then that's halfway, because the person is throwing their clothes everywhere. So throw less. Like, for example, you throw your dirty boxes. If you have 7 pairs, then maybe throw 3 pairs around. You know what I mean? And just cut it in half, and then you could go from there. But if you are already making that effort actively, I think that's it deserves credit. Don't compare your relationship with the person to anybody else. It deserves credit when anybody's making any effort. Thank you so much for tuning in to my episode of